Matching hundreds. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Elliott. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. And on this offensive unit, your thoughts on Travis Frederick?
He's a quarterback's best friend. Sets all the line calls and blocks so aggressively.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Montez Sweat. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Prescott going to take a shot for... Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Now a loose football. The ball comes out.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession. No turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Draw play, Elliott. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. It's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
So here are the Ravens now as they get set for their opening possession. They will be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner back in 2016. Always a handful to contain, Lamar Jackson.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, let him.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 75 yards. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
To throw again on second down. Prescott. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively. Well, look now at our starting defense. They currently sit at #4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
On second down, Elliott. Elliott a first down and more. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead. First quarter touchdown run. Remember this coming on the heels of his NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance that was so great last week.
Did you feel the rumble all the way up here?
The big bodies up front.
Big bodies moving people, and him, of course, charging through those great holes that were created.
So off to a great start here. Maybe looking for award #2, adding to the award that he won last week in the NFC. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
That's it, baby. We got work.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? #1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Jackson looking to throw on third. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll run for it here with Smith. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Backed up where they were on this side of the field, that was a gutsy call.
A gutsy call that never should have happened. Not so much them going for it. That's their decision. But where's the defensive front? Where's the leverage? Where's the low man wins? Where's getting into the offensive backfield and spilling the play? How did they permit them to pick up a first down in that situation?
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. That's caught by Jackson. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Let's go, baby.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
Right there, 55. Here we go, here we go.
This time Jackson will throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. He's got daylight. He's at the 30. 10, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski, and that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Still going. Now he lost the football.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get inside. Let's go, let's go.
Back to the air, Jackson following the pick six. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. From the 31, Prescott. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Prescott, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Prescott yet again. Drops it underneath. Elliott. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And this one is right down the middle. And they double them up here. That makes our score 20-10. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Jackson trying to hustle his unit up quickly to the line of scrimmage. After the sack on 1st down, Jackson into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. So we reach halftime. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, but now it'll be third down.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure all day long prepping for the game, they had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes and we'll be in great shape.
Now it's Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And an alley to run. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Cowboys have recovered.
Illegal blocking the ball. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big run that time by Elliott, and even 50 yards on the ground. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on, because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the top 20, but over 7,000 yards in a career, fantastic.
On 2nd and 11 now, Prescott. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able. Exploit right there.
Baby. Set. Mike, 5-5. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college, but I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Jackson being chased out left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens cut into that lead.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th. They go to Elliott again. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On third down, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go! Let's go!
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Jackson now. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup. Throwing is Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Oh, no, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and he will take it in for a Cowboy score.
Hey, that's the way you finish, boy.
The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Buying time to his left. His throw incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And it's third down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Now, that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop?
He can't hang. He's not going to get 46. 45. Mike, 45. Hey, man. Watch the goose. 26.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. After the penalty, it's Elliott. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime, but the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
We got this.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Yannick Ngakoue in on the stop. And an alley to run. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Cowboys, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.